One of the things that we talk about all the time in terms of different ways and areas that we can serve, we understand that even though we gather here on the corner of East and Talford, our influence, God has enabled us to have an influence throughout our city and even beyond that. And I'm going to invite Leisha to come up and just share a little bit about how God has been at work through us as a church family, once again this summer at Camp Mishewah. And you might remember that Leisha in particular and her family disappear from here from the middle of June till the beginning of September almost. And they don't have a vacation home, although that's become their vacation home, but it's a ministry that they've taken on, and it's exciting to see how our church family has responded to that. So on this morning of giving thanks, we're very thankful for the ministry of Camp Mishewah. We're thankful for the example and the faithfulness of Tyson and Alicia and their family, and we're thankful for the many people who are bringing the love of Jesus to all the campers at Camp Mishewah. Is that good?
Yeah. I don't have to talk now.
So this is Alicia. You can clap for her, even though you know her. You can still welcome her with. Yeah.
Good morning. So it's been 4 years since that first time we said yes to God, to going on this crazy adventure of serving together as a family at Camp Mishewah. For those of you who don't know where it is, it's on Round Lake, one of the most beautiful lakes in Ontario. And it's about, if you have kids, it's about an 8-hour drive from here. Otherwise, you can probably do it in about 6.5, 7. But it's a great place to go. And 4 years ago, I never dreamt that I would probably go back. It was one of the hardest seasons I've ever served. Camp is an awesome place. It's a beautiful place where people go to reconnect with God in nature and through nature. And it's a place where they go to find refuge. It's a place where they go just to spend a wonderful time with their family. But 4 years ago, that was a really rough season for us. We served harder than we've ever served. And when we were called to go a second time, I had no idea what that would look like because I thought, I'm pretty depleted after that first one. And then God came alongside of us and he gave us all kinds of support. And because of that, we're continuing to do it. And we wouldn't be able to do that without that support. And we were driving here this morning and Keith and I were saying, let's count how many families have come to Camp Mishewah. And we were up to like 15 families from this congregation. And if you look around at how small this congregation is, that's a huge chunk of you guys have come to Camp Mishewah and have served there. It has been really awesome to watch how God has timely placed each family at camp. Whether there was a speaker there that God was speaking to someone in that family at that time, or whether they were there just to support us, whether their kids were there to connect with our kids, which helped our kids. After a very long summer, it helped kind of pick them up to have friends and familiar faces, or just how God would use that family at that time to minister to Tyson and I, or to us in the kitchen. Or we've seen how people in the family have come together and they've used the gifts that God's given them to serve in one way or another. We've seen little tiny kids in families helping with bathroom cleanup and serving food and collecting garbages. That seems to be like one of the most popular things to do. You get to ride on the back of the trailer. So it's just really cool to see the way God has used our church family to support something that God is doing elsewhere. And another cool thing that I just have here was we've had tons of flooding at Camp Mishewah. And I was so thankful this season because with flooding comes a lot of bugs. And when the first time we got there this season, it was crazy. The flooding was like right up to the dining hall. And we haven't seen it. You could canoe up to the dining hall. That doesn't usually happen. And I thought, what is going to happen this season? Is this even going to work? And somehow God just dried that all up and the bugs got better with time. So there's lots to be thankful for, including flooding and just the way God works through that. We had the chance this year to have a couple of foster kids with us, and I was just so thankful how the camp family and our church family that was there at that time, how they came alongside of us and supported us while we were supporting kids. And just the freedom that God gave those kids to just be in a place they could just kind of let loose and just be restored a little bit. So it's amazing. You think camp is just camp in tents and trailers and whatever. There is so much more happening that we can thank God for there. Lots of memories are being made. This season was the first time that my daughter and Annalise John, Sale and Annalise, actually got to participate in camp for the first time. There were tears. There was excitement. There was lots of memories being made, and that was cool too. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for the leadership that we've been given through Steve and Jeanette. This is their second year. This is the first time we've had the same managing camp directors 2 years in a row, and it was kind of cool to see the consistency that came with that. And then also the leadership that our youth are finding and our young people are finding. They've come and volunteered with their families, and then they've come back to work in senior teen camp. And I'm thankful just to be able to step back and kind of watch all those things unfold and see what God's doing in their lives as well. If you're interested, there is an annual banquet coming up November 2nd. A couple, Aaron and I are coming, Aaron Kane and I are going, and possibly others. If you'd like to participate in that, let me know. But just speaking of Aaron, there's 2 Aarons in here. I just can't leave without saying how thankful I am for them, because we have families come and they serve with me during the day, but then there's Aaron Kane and Aaron Johns, and they do something a little bit more extraordinary. They come and they actually take over the afternoon cooking position to give my family a break, and they do it in such a way that the staff that work there want to know when they're coming back, because they don't only just serve food, they have a way of just connecting with our staff that are there all summer and making it a fun place. So I can't leave without saying thanks to them.
Yeah, thanks. Awesome. Well done. Well done. It's exciting, right? Sometimes it's important to recognize that God calls us to serve and to make a difference. As we serve and we pray about opportunities, He leads us to respond in different ways. And this is one of the ways that God has been using us beyond this city. And it's amazing to hear from others how much you are having an influence in the ministry of Camp Mishewah. And so thank you for being faithful to that. Thank you for many families. It's a new venture, right? How do we do this for a week? And it's exciting to hear both from adults and children alike how much they enjoy the experience of serving together at camp.